Welcome back. Next up we've got the top 10 game universes of all time. These are games that really push the boundaries of what's expected from the lore of just a simple video game. If you think we've missed out on anything that belongs on this list, you can head over to Facebook and yell at us.
Making its way into 10th, it's the Dark Souls world, Lordran. While being known for its notorious difficulty, many people tend to overlook the game's deep characters and lore. In at number 9, it's the universe of the Persona series. A part of the Megami Tensei universe, these games have shown to be the biggest and best branch of the franchise. With a large list of games and many spin-offs, this series is considered one of the most extensive Japanese games. Floating down to number 8, it's the Bioshock universe, or, universes? Whether it's high up in the sky or down in the depths of the ocean, the worlds of Bioshock will always immerse us in their beautiful environments. Coming in at number 7, we have the Halo universe. Expanded by books and short films, this universe has much more depth than many players realize. In at number 6, it's the Pokemon universe. Kanto, Kalos, and all the regions in between make up a universe that every player has wished they could live in at some point. At number 5, we have the Final Fantasy universe, Spira. The setting of Final Fantasy X and X2, it is one of the most realized worlds in the series.
Someday, I will conquer it.
Now! This is it! Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands!
Yuna needs Kimon.
At number 4, it's Azeroth. Inhabited by millions of players, the world of Warcraft feels like a living, breathing universe. Coming in at number 3, we have Hyrule. The land of Link and Friends is easily one of Nintendo's biggest and most fleshed out. The universe even goes so deep that it's split into several timelines in which the hero either lived or died. At number 2, it's Tamriel. The lore in this game is so extensive, Bethesda actually need to hire a lore master to oversee all of it. From the countries of Morrowind to Skyrim, this world will always hold a special place in the hearts of those who have lived in it. And at number 1, it's the Mass Effect universe. Set in 2183, the player has the ability to explore the Milky Way, visiting various planets and meeting many new faces. Every character in this game has significant depth, and that's why we think it deserves the top spot on this list.
So guys, were there any universes in that list that you guys have spent a lot of... Not Halo.
Oh, yes, Halo.
Was there anything other than Halo?
Aside from Pokemon, which I have spent a little bit of time in, I recently got into the sort of Persona games, and those seem to have a pretty crazy universe, which I'm looking forward to exploring further.
Which you would expect from a JRPG, I assume.
Yeah.
I had to think, and there isn't any other universe that I've spent in that list.
One day, have you not played Mass Effect? I think we've been through this before.
You said a longer period of time in...
So you've been to the Mass Effect universe?
But you, like,
Yes,
you went there for a little while, but you didn't stay very long. You had to go home for some urgent business.
Halo. I do play other games, alright? Destiny,
Sure.
Oh, the other Bungie
Halo.
game. Yeah, alright, cool. Alright, but right now we're going to PAX Australia where I interview the developers of Smite.
So I'm here at PAX Australia in Melbourne 2014. I'm here with Todd, the Chief Operating Officer for Hi-Res Studio. How's your PAX been so far?
It's been really good, man. I mean, it's exciting to see all the Smite fans lined up to try Arena mode. Many of them have played Smite before, but there's about half that are discovering it for the first time, so it's cool to be here.
So, for any of the viewers who are discovering Smite for the first time, can you give a brief overview of Smite and how it differs from other MOBAs?
Yeah, definitely. So Smite is an online battleground of the gods. So as far as theme, we're talking about mythology here. So you're playing gods and goddesses from pantheons around the world. So a Thor, an Odin, a Loki, but also a Zeus, a Hades, and some more obscure ones as well. And then in terms of gameplay, the really big difference with Smite is the camera angle, the controls, and the aiming. So in many of the other MOBAs, it's a 2D isometric view. You have a bird's eye view of the action. You're clicking on the map in order to move your character, and most of your abilities are, of course, auto-aimed for you, and it's an exception when you do a skill shot. In Smite, it's the opposite. The camera's behind your character. You can't see behind you. You could surprise me and sneak up on me if I'm not oriented the right way. All of my attacks are aimed, and I'm directly manipulating my character with WASD or even a controller if you want to plug that in. So the combat feels more like MMO PvP or even a shooter than it does a real-time strategy game, and that gives a real different feel to the core combat.
So you guys were actually the number 3 MOBA ever, so that's got to be a good feeling. What do you think makes gamers like Smite so much?
I think the fact that it is different. I mean, there's some exceptional 2D isometric MOBAs out there, the number 1 and the number 2, and there's a few that are being developed, of course, you know, quite a few. So there's plenty of choices for people who enjoy that category. I think the fact that the third-person camera makes the combat feel different, it really lets us reach a different audience, right? So some of our players play 2D MOBAs, but they like the more action approach in Smite as an alternative. But then we also see other players who maybe don't get into those MOBAs, but they like shooters or they like MMO battleground combat. And for them, Smite feels like an MMO PvP game that they don't have to grind. They just get in and out 30 minutes and really the best parts of MMO PvP in a small digestible chunk, and that's pretty appealing these days. So that's helping it find an audience.
Awesome. So you were saying before that you've launched Australian servers, which I'm sure the Australian people have been very receptive to.
Yeah, they really have. I mean, at the community meetups that we've had in Sydney and Melbourne, we got to talk with players, many of which have been trying Smite since beta, and a lot of them were sticking with the game, even though their ping was 250 to 400 plus. I mean, you've got to see the future to be able to play the game that way, especially a game with aiming and evading, and with the servers in Sydney now, they're getting really good ping and just having a smooth gameplay experience, and so it's going to be a better game for them.
So how has your game evolved since you first launched? You said it's been a while since the beta. How has it grown, and what are your thoughts on the community and that growing as well?
It's really changed a lot and improved, we think. I mean, of course, in beta we started with one game mode and map, which was a more traditional Dota-style 3-lane map with a jungle, and that map's still in the game, and it is still the map that we use for the competitive side of the game and esports. But we felt that the way the combat works, the game would actually benefit from multiple modes. So we actually have 5 different modes, each with a different map and different art set, and they're all popular. It's not as if they're just kind of throwaway modes and maps. Arena, which is the game mode that's being played here, is the most popular mode, even more popular than the 3-lane map. So more modes and maps is one way. The art has improved considerably. I mean, in beta, the most important thing for us as a developer was to test the core mechanics, and so we challenged our team to just get playable gods out there as quickly as possible, and we didn't really prioritize the quality of the art or even the art direction, actually. So since beta, we've really tightened up the art direction. I think that players that see video now or actually experience the game will see just a much more polished experience. So those are the 2 primary ways that the game has grown since beta.
It's been awesome, and I had a game before, and I think you've made one more convert over to Smite. So thanks for talking with us, and I hope you have a great PAX.
Awesome. Thanks for checking it out.
Thank you.
So Lysander, you also play MOBAs as well as I do. You can stay quiet, Vince. Does the third person kind of view and also the fact that you're all playing like gods, does that kind of interest you from Smite?
It does definitely interest me. The one thing that sort of holds me back from starting new MOBAs is just meta.
Yeah,
Game, just too complicated for me to bother with.
like learning the new skills and what items to buy and that kind of stuff.
Too much.
And you guys give me like crap for just playing Halo. Jeez.
We play different MOBAs. We don't just play like the,
But they're all
one
the same.
series.
They're all the same.
They're not all the same, Vince.
Oh, shots fired.
All right, right now we're going to the break, but afterwards we're going back to PAX where I interview the guys from Framed.